Why be easy when you can just die?
Woo! I'm Chewy Mew, and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew video. And this figure is the most ambitious custom you've ever seen. Technically, custom Fearsome Foes Spider-Man. Custom Spider-Man? I have no idea what this should and could be called. I did a lot of crazy stuff to this custom. This custom is supposed to be based on the Fearsome Foes Spider-Man. Can tell, holy crap, his shoulders are like bigger than my future, and you're right. So I figured out the reason why some Toy Biz shoulders are enormous. Like this guy here, I have no idea what this guy is called, and his shoulders are just as big, aren't inside of his torso. His shoulder joints are smaller, and that's because over time Toy Biz realized that they can make the ball joints in the shoulders, make them smaller, that way they don't look so aggressively enormous. They were meant to be, you know, like inside. They're not meant to be like, you know, sticking out. And this custom causes them to be sticking out, and that way he has ball jointed shoulders. This guy has a lot of posability modified to him. Pretty sure I have no idea what Fearsome Foe Spider-Man even looks like. So here they are. They look a little bit messy, but yeah, well. Also, his head now has a ball joint, where before the head on this guy is stuck down like that, and he can kind of look side to side. But now he can kind of look up and down, can tilt a little bit side to side, rotate all the way around. The ab crunch is still the same, and I also put this cape on him. It came from First Appearance Spider-Man, but then First Appearance Spider-Man's cape came from Sinister Six Spider-Man. It's a First Appearance Spider-Man's cape that I'm gonna give Fearsome you know what I mean. This guy has a cape now. I can't speak, but you know, Fearsome Foes Spider-Man has a cape, and so that kind of differentiates him from McFarlane. This figure, this is also, might I point, using the Spider-Sense Spider-Man, and he doesn't have articulation in the fingers, but now he has a web shooting hand. His fingers move, so now he has a web shooting hand, and also this guy here, he can also make a fist. The fingers can go out pretty good, and you can make a fist, which this guy originally, his hand was just stuck like that. And also he has butterfly joints and a ball jointed head. You might be thinking, well, how the heck did you create all of this insanity? And the way I created the ball joint in the head was, I actually popped the head off here. So I broke apart the body, cut open the torso, which I had to for this as well. I cut open the torso, I took this ball joint. This came from a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure, and this actually isn't a ball joint for the head. This is actually a ball joint for their legs. The Ultimate Beetle figure from the Goblin Build-A-Figure wave. And I took a ball joint, I super glued it inside here. I wrapped wire around it, where I also stabbed it on through the holes on the cape. So that way it's attached to his neck, that way it doesn't come off. Then I took the inside of the head, I sanded the crap down out of everything inside, so it makes that big open hole there. For the eyes, it has this like visor thing that glows in the dark, which, by the way, now when you hold it up to light, it's not see-through at all. So then just using all that, it somehow perfectly and conveniently just manages to be compatible with a Toy Biz, with this head. And so now the ball joint, it does look up kind of good. He does have that gap in his neck, but when you have him at certain angles, like here you can't see. Like if you're looking from the side, you can see, but chances are I'm not going to have him posed where you can see him from the side. These also came from a Hasbro leg. But I do have the legs from the Beetle that I used the pieces from, where he had this, doesn't have it, but there's this like little square piece of plastic that I used inside his shoulder where it connects inside of the leg here. When you connect it in there, that's what gives the leg the ball jointed feature. But you can see in here, if we turn the flash on for more detailed, you can see how in there he has like a little ball joint thing there sticking out. See the peg, how it looks there. And also, this is the ball joint on the pelvic. They have like a bar on their pelvis where this is the part that moves the leg here. This part moves the leg, and it plugs into that, and that moves the leg. So this is the part, this piece right here is in the leg right there, like that. And then this ball joint here is in his pelvis, sticking like that inside the leg. They perfectly and conveniently happen to be the exact same size. So I didn't even need to sand anything down. I kind of just super glued the peg there inside of, or super glued that like ball joint square holder thing inside the torso here. Super glued together. I had to do a little bit clamping down. You can see there's like a bit of a gap there on the sides you can see through. This one there's a little. And so these are the other two arms, and you can see how this is the same arm. The other one is missing a hand, but whatever. So this one here has the original hand the guy has, but then you can see this one can make a fist, and that's because here's part of the Invisible Woman hand, and you can see there I cut off all her fingers, and there's a hinge right here. There's a hinge that allows her fingers to move like this, and the hinge, I cut off the hinge there, including what the fingers are, and then I think I used this hand. Is it this one? No. I super glued it. You can see that the hinge doesn't belong to him. I super glued it onto his hand, but I cut him into this. So I super glued this finger onto part of the hand that doesn't have hinge, and then I super glued the other finger onto the part that doesn't have hinge, and then this part here where the fingers are, I super glued the two of them together, then I super glued it onto the peg here where it hinges. They could totally have called Black Panther Black Cat, and it would work the same. To make his hand use a fist, because I wanted to keep I couldn't keep his wrist. So I took the entire hand. This is the wrong hand though, but I took this. Really, dude? I'm gonna have to. I had to poke it with my nose. So I took the hand here. You can see all of this part is part of her hand, and I cut off all the fingers. Then I super glued his fist in place of her finger. So now he has a fist. You can see how. Oops. Just lay down, dude. Okay, just stay down. And on McFarlane, you can see here, McFarlane only the strip in the middle of his arm is red, where everything else is blue. Painted all of this part red, and then I painted the rest of it blue. Then you can see how it looks compared to this other arm here. So pretty much only the one strip of webbing here is painted, where you can see McFarlane has the same arm here. Different. I painted it this like darkish, kind of like vibrant kind of looking blue. I didn't paint the logo on the back here, so my camera makes the colors look kind of weird here. There's the glue dot there, which the cape just isn't sticking to right now. I'm gonna have to probably put a new one. Then you can see in here, I didn't bother painting any of the stuff in there because you're not gonna see it, because the cape took the most, like the most time and the most, like I guess the most work. Didn't take too much work. I don't know how to explain it, but it did take a lot of work. Never mind. It actually was kind of hard to do. Like a lot of these customs, the hard thing is trying to figure out how you're gonna do stuff. And I could have totally just left this guy normal how his body is, and then just, paint it. So a lot of the customs I make involves taking body parts of other figures that are just broken, or figures that, other than that, just, took some creativity using some parts from other figures. And for the most part, everything on this guy is, pretty simple. But I really hope you like this custom. Let me know what you think about this guy. If you like it, be sure to let me know. Sticking back here on the display base. This display base is so hard to pick up. Sanded down his feet too. His feet were like kind of wide here. I sanded them down to kind of be more in line with McFarlane. And so McFarlane was kind of my inspiration, because him and Fearsome Foes use the same body. But yeah, that's enough for this video. So I will see you guys in the next video. There we go. Wow.